welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we're going to do a reading for Aquarius. Let's call on Spirit with some wind chime time. It feels like there's something like a cycle coming to a close. Let's see what we find out. Actually, now we'll do the Golden Lenormand. Alright, what do we have for Aquarius? I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. It's the beginning of a holiday weekend here in the United States, so I think a lot of people are trying to sort out their swimsuits, boats, beach towels. Alright, what do we have for Aquarius? Alright, starting off with a bang. Jeez. Okay. So we have the ring and the snake. Somebody was either in or is still in a committed situation with somebody who is sneaky, someone who's a user. This is probably like a materialistic person. And they're jealous. But we have the fish coming out. We have good luck. And we have the clover. So I feel like karma is on somebody's side. So we have the fish being paired with the rider, which is, I always like to clarify, R-I-D-E-R. You can see he's on a horse. And there's somebody who is traveling, I think, with good news. Or there's something good they want to do, right? Maybe they're balancing the scales in some way. We don't really have a message here per se. Alright, let's get some modern day clarity with the situations deck. I actually just got notification before this reading that the deck I ordered off of Etsy that's kind of like this one, it's a little bit more focused on like your individual journey, but it got shipped, so that's exciting. Interesting. Okay, so to clarify ring, we've got family and settlement. So this really does feel like a close-knit circle based off of family. So there may be children involved here that has ended due to somebody being dishonest. Somebody wore a mask or was duplicitous, possibly both. Man, these cards just been jumping everywhere today. Alright. You guys, I have never gotten a combo like this. We have love between a divine masculine and a divine feminine, all coming out at the same time. We have a masculine energy that is learning to balance his practicality or logic with his intuition and follow his heart a little bit more so. He's been stuck in reminiscing mode, so we might see that card come out too. Sorry, I totally have a cat hair on my face per usual. There have been some really difficult times that this masculine has had to go through, probably a very difficult family situation. And as a result, he's kind of been a little bit of a hermit. He's had to pull himself back from certain friendships or relationships. And what's gotten him through are the memories with this divine feminine. But the way that this divine feminine is pictured, it feels to me like she's had to at some point kind of step back and ask, why did I put in all this work for somebody that wasn't available, or somebody who wasn't willing to tell me how they felt? Because he's in a different relationship where he was. The snake is not the divine feminine. You cannot pull off divine feminine and be thieving. It's not a good look. So this divine masculine is the rider. He's bringing good news about a house being sold. Maybe he's moved out of the family home he shared with this karmic feminine. Because he's also, you can kind of see, there's a big home or castle in the background. It kind of looks to me like this might be the family home that he's leaving. And we have a boat with the fish. So I get the sense that this guy has a little bit of a journey ahead of him. Family is clarified by negotiator, and settlement. Settlement is clarified by cleansing, removing negativity. I chuckle because, yeah, I guess if you're ending a relationship that was toxic, you are indeed removing negativity, and there may be some drawn out negotiations pertaining to children involved in the situation, or of course the finances. But it appears to me that somebody is trying to get through this negotiation process like expeditiously, not necessarily to the detriment of their bank account, but oh, she wants the jet ski? Fine, give it to her. Are we done yet? I don't know who has a jet ski, but can we be friends this weekend? Fun fact, I have a brother, I have two brothers. I have a brother that I adore named Kelsey, who went in a circle on a jet ski. He and his now wife were going, I think, just a little bit too fast, and they flipped it. My other brother and his daughter, and then me and my then husband were like, what? Did they just... Yeah, you gotta be careful on those things. You have soulmate. This is clarifying love. Being drawn in particular to the word friendship on here, I think what really kind of like grabbed this divine masculine's attention is that he had a lot of experience with people that wanted to use him, a lot of snakes around him, right? The purity or the good intent that this friendship was built on is something that this divine masculine has never forgotten. He's used it to better understand the caliber of relationships he already had in his life, and over time has determined he needs to upgrade those because a lot of the toxicity in his life, this negativity he's trying to remove, is due to those relationships he's kept around with people that didn't have the best intent, people who were just trying to use him. And now he's trying to make an escape on that horse. He may be a little bit of a hermit right now, not looking for a lot of social interaction. He may even go hide out in a different city, who knows. So, one of my favorite kind of cheesy songs that literally might even like get me a little emotional right now. Oh, shit. There's an artist named Mindy Gledhill, Gledhill, and she has this song called Anchor. Ah, fuck. This divine feminine was an anchor, not in the negative sense, because usually I see this card as somebody who's trying to take control over a situation they don't have the right to control. But what I really see here is that this divine feminine had a grasp on reality. She had the power of discernment, and she maybe even warned this divine masculine, you've got snakes around you. You've got people that do not mean you well. In an effort to help him remove that negativity, right? And this kindness that the divine feminine showed the divine masculine, even when he maybe wasn't showing her the same, has been an anchor for him through these difficult times that he's experienced. This cocoon that he's placed himself in to get away from the struggles or the chaos. It's been what's grounded him. So look up that song, it's beautiful, and if you want to know more about who I am as a person, that song is a good way to find out, because I identify with a lot of that. Just being kind of, it's about being a little bit of a weirdo, you know, and somebody loving you for the weirdness just as you are. I'm proud of you, Divine Masculine. This card has come out for weeks in the upright because somebody was so focused on the outward appearance of their life that they weren't willing to make the changes that they needed to make. And I don't know if this is the exact same person, but it does make me want to call out the courage that it takes to relinquish that external validation and the reliance upon it for your self-esteem or your ego, to let go of that and not commit yourself to a life of misery based off of what other people might think about you, and instead pursue what makes you happy, what makes you feel loved for who you are as a person. This card came out and I could hear that song. Somebody yearns to be loved for who they actually are, and instead of wearing this mask around snakes to prove their worth, they want to be with this person who loves them for who they are. Alright, I wasn't actually going to take another one. I was going to switch to the tarot, but I'm going to show you this. There's a growing sense of desire here where somebody is realizing that the physical attraction was just a small component of the connection, and that as time has gone on, their desire has increased because it's now built on a foundation of emotional connection, not just that superficial shit. If this is resonating for you, go ahead and give me a like or subscribe. Almost to 1,000. I'm super excited. we're going to clarify further with the Morgan Greer. I always forget the last half, you guys. Ooh, I picked up one I didn't need to. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. This, by the way, is from the Magic 8 Ball deck that I have. That's just a bunch of like yes or no's or like answers you would get if you used the like Magic 8 Ball toy thing that they have. And the one that I picked up was huh? And it's paired with the world, which is like, this isn't over. And I'm getting a couple of messages. It could be that both of them are accurate for you or just one, you decide. But I'm getting that this snake that's been removed, this probably ex-wife, doesn't get that it's over. Doesn't believe it. Like, could literally be having difficulty grasping the situation or living in reality. Like, they don't get it. But then I also feel like this could apply to the divine feminine who's been over here doing her own thing. Like, yeah, no, he's like married or something. And then this dude comes out of nowhere on his horse, like, what's up, girl? Nah, this ain't over. And she's like, what? Where did you come from? Alright. What else do we have for Aquarius? This is going to be one of those longer readings, huh? I'm all chatty for you guys. What else for Aquarius, please? Well. So we have the Queen of Cups and Judgment. And I'm just going to say, it makes me really happy that this deck spells Judgment right. There's only one E. Anyways. We have Queen of Cups looking at the world in the reverse, which, if you recall, is kind of like that this isn't over. Like, this chapter isn't fully written yet. But she's coming out with judgment. And I feel like in part it's because there were people like behind this Queen of Cups, right? Like, they don't actually know her. They're not facing her. She maybe doesn't even know them or hasn't met them. And they pass judgment on her. But she remained calm and steadfast and tried to avoid the lower level shit. I wonder if she defended her name or if she just kind of like bowed out. Like, whatever, y'all do your talking, I'll be over here like writing in my journal. She looks very comfortable by herself. A lot of Queen of Cups cards have, you know, admirers or like nymphs or whatever around, mermaids. But she's all on her own. It kind of looks like she's just amused watching people. So we have the Hierophant in the reverse, clarifying this divine masculine's escape. He's escaping a marriage. Walking away from a marriage. Something that he thought was practical or made sense Maybe it was even to some degree expected of him. We have the Six of Swords in the reverse. Eight of Pentacles sideways, and the Five of Cups. In the Divine Feminine's mind, she put in more work than this Divine Masculine did. It comes across as fairly accurate, but remember, these are all perspectives, so she doesn't really know what this Divine Masculine's been up to. And it's covering the Five of Cups. So I feel like there's still a little bit of healing or processing that this Divine Feminine is going through. But in her mind, the Six of Swords in the reverse is saying this situation is over. This is not going to go anywhere else because this person wasn't willing to put forth the same effort that I was. I also feel like this this Five of Cups under the Embarrassed or Appearances card in the reverse is telling me that instead of focusing on the things that the low vibe people that surrounded this masculine actually cared about, like appearances, wealth, showing off, this masculine is now very focused, thinking about the important things, thinking about the impact of choosing the low vibe people, the yes men, if you will, over the person that was willing to love them for who they are. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords can often represent a feminine energy that has recently gone through a major breakup. The Queen of Swords can also represent somebody who is quite intelligent or good with their words. Also, sometimes somebody who's very blunt. With this particular card, I more so get somebody who is willing to keep fighting or determined to keep fighting. Remember, she came out saying, basically, I'm not willing to admit that this is over. She's still trying to negotiate. Perhaps she's trying to draw out the settlement negotiations to have some measure of control. But with the Emperor, she's not going to win. The Queen of Swords can't go up against an Emperor whose motivation is the woman he loves. Like, she's not going to end up getting what she wants, because you can even see her eyes are like a little bit red, a little bit like rust-colored. She's angry. She wants to hurt him, and he knows this. He knows that she can pretend to be, docile or loving, when really in her heart of hearts, all she wants to do is step on someone's throat. Like, this is not a nice person. I'm surprised she's in the upright. I wonder why. Okay, so that answers that. She is not in the negatively aspected or like reverse Queen of Swords right now, because she's too focused on judgment being clarified by Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. She's too scared about the financial loss she's taking from this separation to really be as petty and angry as she wants to be, because she knows she's going to be financially on her own. And so she's, to some extent, holding back how vicious she would like to be to this Emperor. She might have to be a little bit, like, two-faced about it, right? Like, I'm going to be nice and kind to you in front of the lawyers, and then I'm going to, deflate your tires at the courthouse. This girl is crazy. I'll see if for Aquarius. We have the Two of Swords. This is how the Divine Feminine feels right now. I feel like in addition to this Nine of Pentacles, which is all about being single, right? And in a lot of cases being abundant and single, this isn't about the Queen of Swords being this Nine of Pentacles. She's trying to figure out how she's going to be that, and that's why she's being nicer to this Emperor. The Divine Masculine is seeing that the true pre-Empress energy, or, you know, I'm abundant all in my own energy, is this Divine Feminine over here. And the crossroads that we have here, I believe, applies to both of them. So she represents a crossroads for him because he has to choose, do I want to quit fucking around with these low vibe users and find a soul tribe where people are actually respectful and want to see me grow and do well? Or am I going to, like, you have to choose, do you want to boss up or do you want to, like, stay stagnant, right? And for the Divine Feminine, she's got a choice coming up. She's going to be at a crossroads where she has to say, okay, I, like, totally written this thing off. I didn't think there was any way you were going to bring this back. And then here we have the King of Rods coming in to demonstrate, not only am I passionate about you and determined to show you that I want to make this work, I'm also willing to be, I get a sense of, creative to demonstrate for you that I have changed, that I am not the same person. So this Divine Feminine isn't necessarily aware that this Emperor energy is as capable as he is, because, see, he's facing this Queen of Swords. He's still dealing with removing this negativity, trying to minimize this loss before he can come towards this Divine Feminine. We have the Hanged Man. Why is this Hanged Man here? So he's a little bit slow to come through because he's not sure he has enough to offer. This King of Pentacles is telling me that this masculine energy may have been a little bit braggadocious or, like, in your face about, like, yeah, no, I don't need to do any of that shit because, like, I have money or I have a house or whatever it is. But this process is impacting his finances, and it feels to me like he's a little bit worried. How do I come across as this King of Pentacles to this Nine of Pentacles when I'm going through something that's impacting my finances, or maybe even tying up my finances? All right, 3 more. We'll get a little insight here from the Zodiac fortune-telling cards. Happiness from an unexpected source. Yeah, I don't think the Divine Feminine is going to see this coming. Always doing for others without reward. That's the Divine Feminine. And the Divine Masculine saw this in him, or in her. And maybe even in himself. Yeah, I think he saw this in himself too. Being true to a friend will injure your future. Be careful. I don't know who that's for, but you really need to take a look around and see who is there for you for good reasons and who is trying to get to a different place by stepping on your head. Because somebody here wants to fuck with your future success, and I don't like that. So collective, use your discernment. I hope you enjoyed the reading and that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.